Yo, what is good everybody? It's your boy Tej, and today I'm gonna be showing y'all how to make a beat for Nardo Wick and Future, possibly even Lil Baby. And this beat is kind of inspired by a couple of tracks off of his new project, specifically something like Me or Some or Chop Chop. And I made the entire beat from scratch, so I'm gonna be showing y'all my entire process of making the sample and adding drums to it. If you're new to the channel and you enjoy these tutorial videos, be sure to hit subscribe. As always, I'll have the finished beat played at the end of the video, so be sure to stick around for that. And with all that out of the way, let's just hop right into the beat. Before I hop into breaking down the melodies, here's a quick preview of the sample. Alright, so the first thing I want to discuss is the tempo, and I think for these type of beats, ideally anything between like 140 and 170 beats per minute probably works best. I ended up sticking with 154 beats per minute, and so jumping into the first melody sound here, I got this standard, I think it's a pad sound from Analog Lab. I went into the piano roll here and I put in this kind of chord pattern. All I did is I kind of focused on the first two measures right here. I started off by selecting my key. I went with C sharp minor for this one. So the first thing I did is I made the C sharp minor triad, which you just start on C sharp and then move 3 notes up and then 4 notes up, and then those 3 notes is the triad. And then I copied that over and then just moved the second note down by 1/2 step, therefore making a suspended chord with it, and then just copied it over for the remaining part of the 2 measures, and then switched it up at the end by moving this G sharp up to A. And after I had the first 2 measures, I copied it over for the following 4. The only difference being is that I changed the E in the 3rd chord and moved it up to F sharp instead. And once I had that, I just penciled in this top melody right here, just kind of corresponding with some of the notes in the key of C sharp minor, but honestly, I just used my ear to kind of figure out what would sound good with it. And I believe I just copied this over for the remaining 4 measures. So I'd routed that to a mixer track and I put some effectrix on it, put it on the 1/16th loop setting, and I put a reverse in this area right here. And then the next plugin I opened was Serum, and I got this Big Bells Pluck, which I believe is a factory preset. Then I added this bell pattern to make it sound a little more interesting and just add a little more variation to what I already had with the first melody. What I wanted to do with this is I wanted to kind of build up here and then just have this one roll at the end. And then the same thing for this one, just kind of go low to high and build up to these notes up here and then just add a little roll at the end. And pairing that with the first melody. Next, I went into Electra X and I got this TM88 arpeggiator. And the piano roll, I just kind of copied the second note of the chords from the first melody that I showed y'all. And again, I just kind of added the little switch up every now and then. And it's practically the same thing as the first 2 measures, and then just copied it over for the entire 8-bar loop. And that one more or less was kind of acting as like ear candy for the rest of the loop. So when I put that into a mixer track, I just put an EQ on it to cut out some of the bassier noises. And then I put effect rack on it and just put this 2-band sweep up preset. This just kind of added a bit of a filter and some distortion to it. And in the final version of the loop, what I did is I ended up automating the volume. So I went to the top left corner of the audio clip right here, and I clicked on it and went to automate and volume, and then I created an automation clip just so that it swells up and swells down. And then I went into Omnisphere and I got this Growler Moog bass preset. I just kept it really simple. I just played the 1 and the 6 in the C sharp minor scale, or in other terms, just played the root note and then just moved it up by 8/2 steps. So that's all I had for the project file for the sample. I rendered all the stems out as audio clips and arranged the loop, and then I hopped into the new project file. So I opened up my new project file, and in here, this is where I added the drums. I honestly kept this one pretty simple. I didn't add too many components to it. I think it's just like 5 or 6 sounds, that's it. So starting this one off, I just started with that good old combo clap, put it on the 3rd beat of every measure. I didn't add any like variations or anything like that. I just wanted to keep it real simple. And then I added this hi-hat right here. It's just a 2-step pattern, and I went in with the 1/3 step snap setting and the brush and kind of just added rolls here and there. And if you want a little extra bounce on your hi-hats, I recommend that you change the velocity up a little bit for some of the notes that are hitting in the 2-step pattern. It just adds a little variation to it. It makes them sound a little less repetitive. Next, I added my 2 open hats. The first one being this one. It kind of sounds like a normal Southside open hat. This is on the 2nd beat of the 2nd and the 6th measures. And then I added another kind of Southside sounding open hat. And this was on the 2nd beat of the 4th and the 8th measures. After that, I added this pretty basic snare sound, and I just put in a snare pattern using the 1/2 step snap setting, except for these 2 right here, which I believe use the 1/4 step snap setting. And then lastly, I just added my 808 pattern. This is kind of like a shorter stub your spins 808. I think all the rolls are pretty simple. The only one that's kind of special is this one right here. That's using the 1/2 step snap setting. It follows the same notes from the sub bass pattern in the loop project file. So that'll be it for me. Hope you all enjoyed the video. Hope you're able to take something away from it. If you liked the video, be sure to leave a like. If you want to see more tutorials like this, be sure to hit subscribe. Leave any feedback or recommendations you may have in the comments below. And that's all for me. Hope you have a great rest of your day. Peace.
Why don't you run with this, Taj?